And what I want to do is I really want to unpack the anatomy of a 10x marketer. What do they know? What do they think? What do they do? What do they believe? All right, and to do this, let's start with the head. Let's start with the head. What is, if you think about it, what is the brain of a 10x marketer? It goes without saying, you got to be smart to do this stuff. You kind of got to be smart to do anything, but specifically what we're looking for is a combination of analytics and psychology. We have to be simultaneously comfortable with speaking with and understanding how do human beings work. We got to get that, but then we also need to be willing to dive in and knock out some pivot tables in Excel. Comfortability with data, understanding of humans. This is a combination that we must have. Now, you're going to have marketers who are good at some, a little bit better at some, and not as strong in others. If you're a bit weak in one of these areas, develop it. All right, develop it. If you're better, if you're really, really strong on the data side, right, then you need to be reading books like The Psychology of Influence and Persuasion by Robert Cialdini. All right, I knew that my man crush on David Cancel was real when I heard him on a Seeking Wisdom podcast episode talk about these books. When I heard him talk about the importance of psychology, the importance of brand, I knew, like, this person gets it. By the way, at the end, I'm going to give you a link where you can access all of my book recommendations. Don't feel like you got to write them all down. I'm going to give you a link at the end. Cool? These are 2 books you got to read. Also, Predictably Irrational, Dan Ariely. Use that to close some gaps if you're strong on the data, but not as strong on the way that humans think. I love this one, Meet Your Happy Chemicals. Talks about how the different brain chemicals work together and how we can fire off different ones. I'm not asking you to become a neuroscientist, but you need to understand generally, how does the human brain work? How do humans think, feel? How does it impact what they do if you want to be a marketer? All right, we gotta hold on to that. If you're like me and you're stronger on the psychology side, but you kind of are terrible at numbers, like you don't understand the difference between correlation and causation, you think that running a test twice is statistically significant, you should be reading books like Fooled by Randomness. You should be looking at courses like, looking at books like Lean Analytics. All right, the point is we got to fill these gaps, but these 2 things, you got to have them both. That's the brain